I will admit, I'm once again doing a live reaction and review for Four Knights, mainly because I'm 3 chapters behind. How does this keep happening? What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact: I do mean to have it on and keep it on at all times. Another fun fact. Oops. These things, like, and notably, I don't mean to do it. At least for the last 2 times I've fallen behind on Fortnite specifically. It's literally because I was not, like, I was gone. For reference, I was, like, literally away from home twice recently. The first time I left, I didn't have any videos prepped. And then the second time I left, I did have videos prepped, but they were not Four Knights reviews. And they just kept falling back down the pipeline. I'm 3 weeks behind. I'm 3 weeks behind on Four Knights. And I was initially gonna still do the live reactions, but then I was like, not only are those gonna be like 2 weeks out of date, but also, like, I do feel bad because so many people have been asking for these reviews. So I'm gonna do it. We should be back on schedule. I don't think, as far as I know, like the last 2 things were planned. I just didn't work around them that well. But I don't think I should be disappearing anytime soon. So from this week on, we should be back. The live reactions will be back to normal. I'm still thinking of doing some other things on a separate channel for Four Knights as well. I still have some versus battles I have written up and I want to make. Especially, unironically, a big motivator to get me into making versus battle again is like Midoriya versus Miles Morales. Yeah, that death battle. I haven't watched death battle personally in years, but I've seen so much Midoriya slander, and I know he won. I know he won that death battle. But like, if you want to know my thoughts, if it's Spider-Verse Miles, he gets washed. If it's Game Miles, he gets washed. If it's any version of current comic Miles, I think he genuinely takes Deku for a walk. But that's because comics are kind of crazy. Because comics are kind of crazy and people refuse to acknowledge that. But that aside, that's kind of got me back in a versus battle mood just because of all the slander. And I do want to participate in some slander myself. Of course, I have separate ideas for that. So there's a bunch of things that will be happening as per the ideas. And if you're wondering, the tongue is blue because it's very hot where I am right now and I ate some icicle pops. No, I did not devour insert blue character from Four Knights. Is there a single character that's blue? Not in Four Knights. There are a couple other series I'm thinking of where there are just like explicitly blue characters, but not in Four Knights. But that being the case, let's not waste more time. I have 3 chapters. This video is gonna be like 2 hours long, bro. It's just like this is chapter 199. Something crazy is gonna happen in chapter 200, dog. I have one final thank you to say before I actually get into the chapters. Thank you for everyone who was asking for Four Knights, but didn't actually spoil Four Knights. No, notably, I saw nothing. Genuinely, I saw nothing. So that means Nakba hasn't been weird these last 3 chapters. But I'm assuming something must have gone insane and crazy. Something. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into chapter 199, The Visitor. I love how happy these 2 look, even though I assume this cannot be their dynamic. Then again, Theodora joining, like, that has been a hot debate. Like, what is, now that he's been beaten by Percy so thoroughly, there are 2 paths Theodora can go down. It's either he squads up, and then he sort of just becomes another side character, and a very, very, very packed side cast at this point. Like, let's be real. Even if we just remove Hauser and Palio, considering they're probably going to be like 1 arc editions, I don't really think they're going to be palling around with the crew for the rest of the Camelot arc. Assuming they drop, we still have no Lance, but we still have all 3 knights. We have Tristan, Gawain, and Percy. Then, of course, we have the Percy platoon, which is Donnie and Nasians. Then we have the Tristan platoon, which is Isolde and Kion. Then we basically have it confirmed that both Ballin, well, no, Ballin is just hard confirmed to be coming, with everyone else following Gawain, being the first member of the Gawain platoon. Then we have Isolde 2, who has been promised by Tristan to help leave Camelot as a whole. So that's 10. Then we have Gareth. I've run out of fingers already. We have Gareth, who also comes prepackaged with a Dareth. And who knows what other character intrigue and subterfuge, considering that character can summon literally anybody. So, like, we already have a super stat cast. So bringing Theodora along would be an interesting choice, but I'm still mainly interested to see how Nakaba is going to handle such a cast, especially when we still run into the issue of there being such a large gap between the knights and their platoons. Notably, the only character who I think could reasonably clear that gap anytime soon is Nasians, because they're dumb, stupid, crazy, fairy hybrid individual, dumb, stupid, crazy, fairy hybrid, fairy giant hybrid woman with a fraction of her grandfather. Like in the spirit. Like, I get that. She can probably just creep up and go crazy. But even then, I feel like the gap between her and the knights is massive. And I think the gap between Nasians and the rest of the platoons is also massive. It's like, I genuinely don't know. Because at its core, right, Four Knights is a battle manga. Like, no matter how you flip it, twist it, bop it to start, no matter what, it's a battle manga. A battle shonen, if you will. Thusly, I'm not sure if we're going to have to introduce random fodder, or I'm not sure if everyone's just going to get sidelined. Like, not to critique Nakama too much, but Nakama kind of struggled to write the 7 deadly sins all at once, like as a group. Think about it. That's why we only see them together as individuals at the very middle of, like, not the, like, I'd say at the 2/3 mark of the series. Post-Resurrection, Meliodas, when they first go to invade Camelot, which has been taken over by the Demon Clan. That's when we see them. And it's only for, like, a 10-chapter span we have all 7 sins. We get them, Meliodas versus Escanor fight, then Meliodas is removed from the narrative for a while, and then right at the very end, Nakama refused to actually write all 7 deadly sins as a group in a dynamic. And they were all supposedly relative. Now we have the 4 knights, all who still, I believe, drastically vary in power. Maybe Percy, Tristan, and Gawain are all relative. Hopefully we get to see Percy or Tristan versus Gawain, and then that'll allow us to determine who's the stronger between those two. With that being the case, like, Lance is still probably mad busted and stronger than everyone, because I don't think anyone's proven that they're even part 1 Lance level. So now realize we kind of have 4 separate tiers, and we can even break down the last tier into multiple tiers. Because realistically, we have Lance, who stands at the peak all by himself. No platoon members are nothing, but still the strongest by a long shot. Then we have the rest of the knights. Whether you think Percy's the next strongest, whether you think Gawain's the next strongest, whether you think Tristan. Personally, I didn't go something along the lines of Percy, Tristan. Well, actually, I think I am going to have to give Percy, Gawain, Tristan. I think Tristan is the weakest right now just because we don't really know how much power he has under his control with his demon form, and Gawain has shown numerous different spells that I don't think Tristan has an innate counter for outside of full counter, but with her teleportation, I feel like she could cook something up against Tristan. But then we have the gap between them, which is pretty sizable, just as the gap between them and Lance is really sizable. And then we have Gnostians. And then the gap between Gnostians and the rest is pretty sizable. But then arguably, you have Ballin in his own, like, middle gap here, in between Gnostians. Well, realistic, I could even say you could put Ballin above Gnostians, being realistic. So there's a gap between Ballin and Gnostians. This is a gap between Gnostians. And who's the next strongest, right? Like, after that? Probably like the Donners or Gareth. I put those two in a similar tier just because of Gareth's, like, but then again, does Gareth really have scaling? Like, I'm not sure. They kind of got diffed by Ballin last year in spite of their ability. So, like, let's just the rest of the rabble. I mean, Icehold has still dumb, stupid, weird feats in and out of context, but still, I don't know, man. The gaps are so massive. So adding Diodora, once again, going back to the original point. I told you this video was going to be long. But going back to the original point, adding Diodora, it's going to be weird. But then the only other path is Diodora becoming even more evil, like double, tripling down on his new mentality and then running away. But the thing is, how is he going to escape Camelot without joining them? I mean, maybe he could just run around Camelot capturing random souls and stuff like that, but still, I'm not sure how that's going to work. So let's see. Turn 199, the Visitor. Still though, after beating the taste out of somebody's mouth and being like, hey, let's be friends, even if I did want friends, I'd be like, dude, you could have opened with that. Obviously, I get why Percy didn't open with that. Diodora would have not listened. But, like, if I'm Diodora, I'm still mad. You just beat the taste out of me. Like, I genuinely feel every bone in my face, which I shouldn't be able to feel. Let's see. This is a very interesting angle to draw from, too. Nakama flexing on us a little bit. Let's see. The randoms. And Donnie. Gnostians. Gnostians, where is your nose? But let's see. Friends with you? Yeah, okay, good. Dude, I was like, man, if you don't get your dumb bubblegum bill hand out of my face. Let's see. Don't joke with me. Just kill me. I've got no regrets left in this world. He's not doing that, though. So, like, this is the thing. And I do agree with the now common consensus. I don't know if I mentioned this last review, because it's been like a month, but someone, I think in last review's comment section the week before that, kind of said Diodora cannot die now. Like, no matter what happens, he cannot die now. Because presumably, if we're going with the idea that the prophecies follow biological rules, Ironside has to die by Diodora's hands, right? Unless, obviously, you know, 4 Knights and 7 Deadly Sins as a duology is really all about changing fate, changing destiny. So maybe not, but ultimately, Guinevere, as much as I still don't really find, I've grown softer on the character because time always softens me, but still not the biggest fan of the character or her concept. If you'll remember way back when, I believe, ironically, when she first met Ironside, all the way back in part 1, that's like years ago now, but she literally told Ironside, you're gonna die at your son's hands. Like, the last thing you're gonna see is your son holding your lifeless body. So, like, presumably, if the prophecy that Gawain saw is biological, or Guinevere saw is biological, it's going to have to be Diodora. So somehow either Diodora is going to end up joining, but still be malicious enough to boom Ironside, or he doesn't join and he's just evil, and then he goes to boom Ironside anyway for failing to betray. We'll see. But let's take a look. They're all waiting for me in the afterlife, assuming one exists at all. Actually, no. We do know. Like I was gonna say, I was conflating Fortnite with other series. Yeah, there is one. There's actually two so far confirmed ones. And that's one thing I do hope Fortnite answers. Either it's gonna go with the common fan consensus. It's still, like, despite it never being stated, I've seen it. Apparently in the original translations, Chaos is stated just flat out have created the universe, not just the sevendeadlysins world. Like, world in that context is actually being used for, like, universe, apparently according to the original kanji and stuff like that, which is massive Fortnite's upscale. But that aside, we don't know who created Purgatory still. That's never been stated, because we know Purgatory is a separate space. Not even separate space, it's literally a separate dimension. It is the only dimension, in fact, of all the different separate dimensions we've seen, because we've seen a couple. It is the only dimension that is explicitly stated to run on a different time flow. There are evidence I've seen people like Igneo and others use to prove that technically, even if the demon realm, the celestial realm, and the fairy realm all run on the same time scale, it's still technically a separate time scale, because you know space and time are separately interlinked, and if there is dimensional barriers between these walls, they're definitely still different time spaces overall. Like, that's how you still get characters, even without the chaos statement in the original translations apparently being universe, you still get other characters to uni, or through to uni through fighting the gods, obviously. But that aside, we don't know who created Purgatory. And with it being so unique in comparison to all the other realms, which at least run on the same time scale, I do hope we learn that. Whether it be like another chaos being, whether there is a chaos clan of some sort, once again going down the sort of Naruto, Boruto, Otsutsuki route, I do want to know. Let's see. Assuming one exists at all. Oh, it does. Okay, he's like, yeah, actually, fun that you mentioned that. Yeah. Your boys, though? Turret seemed like a nice guy. Or no, Rotha seemed like a nice guy, but Turret's definitely in Purgatory. I sent him there myself. Rothus, we left him in the capital of the dead. He's watching right now, in fact. you want to see? Actually, I'm not sure. But then again, Spirit Realm. And I do hope we get to explore that realm. I'm not sure how we're going to get to explore that realm. I'm assuming it's going to be a Percy flashback, because I don't think... I mean, we were able to visit the capital of the dead, and we visited Purgatory, 2 of the afterlives. So, like, maybe we'll see the Spirit Realm? But the funny thing is about, like, the Life Spirit Realm, it is technically both an afterlife and a before life. It's kind of like, the movie Soul. Actually, I'm not sure, because I actually saw the movie Soul, but I know there's, like, a before life and seemingly an afterlife in that movie. I think, like, the main character, like, dies or something, and then he, like, goes back. I mean, I never saw that movie. But, at least from what we understand, life spirits have their own realm. They go into all the other realms. They provide, like, the life force for people, and then they leave the vessel that they chose, or not necessarily the vessel, but whatever battery they were powering, or whatever machine they were powering, assuming they are the battery. Once that battery runs dry, they leave and go back to that realm. So technically, life spirits are, like, in a constant cycle, and it's not really an afterlife or a before life, considering I assume life spirits just are. But then again, we know life spirits do have unique consciousness based on what we saw with Zura and Du, and now Percy himself. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Oh, it does. Huh? Don't encourage him, Percival. Well, to be fair, he did ask a question that had had an unironically verifiable answer. So he's not necessarily encouraging him. But you have something you still need to do, don't you? Don't you want your father to remember who you are? Percy's like, yeah, Dave, trust me. There is one. I don't think you built for that just yet. You gotta get your lick back. Well, obviously, Percy isn't saying lick back here, but he's like, you gotta get your daddy to remember you somehow. And maybe the only way he can remember you is through a lick back. Let's see. I feel like Theodora's like mad at that. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah! Stop making yourself into some kind of savior. You're his enemy. I think he knows that, Theodora. I think he knows that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not about to just let Ironside go. But to you, he's a cherished father, right? Huh? My father's totally forgotten about me. He doesn't care if I live or die. But he didn't forget you because he wanted to. Probably. Yo! But you know what? This is why I'm saying, I wish... But then again, I will readily admit this, though. I'm not sure, if Seven Deadly Sins wasn't weird. Then again, I feel like the seasons 1 and 2 of the anime, even with the weird stuff that was in seasons 1 and 2 of the anime. I think Seven Deadly Sins would definitely have a more like wide scale appreciation for Nights, specifically for its character writing. I will definitely be. I'm not one of the people who's gonna hop on like the Seven Deadly Sins plot is fantastic. The individual character plots are fantastic, but the overall story of Seven Deadly Sins is kind of like, oh, people wrong my god, they go on to kill my god, no die. I mean, Four Knights definitely has a more interesting plot in general, but still, it's kind of like, hey, there's an evil god, or character's gonna go kill that evil god, or at least presumably, but. It's very JRPG coded, all right? I'm gonna say that. But for the in-character writing, I think Seven Deadly Sins is very, very underrated because the main thing I'm glazing here is that Percy straight admits not only does he not know, but he says, but he didn't forget about you because he wanted to. Probably. It's because he, in spite of trying to encourage Theodora here, right? Being like, hey, gang, live, join us, be a cool cat. Granddaddy said so, and I'm really trying to live up to his wishes right now, so please stop arguing. It's also the idea that Percy still doesn't like Ironside. In fact, he still doesn't like Theodora, right? Like he still really doesn't like him. He's only doing this because his grandfather said, hey, remember the oath you made to me? Remember that he's a sad kid too. Remember there's context here. And remember that your own friends don't think it's that deep. So Percy, lock in and be a good man. And this is Percy's attempt to be a good man, but it's not perfect. He could be doing this better. He could not say probably. He could be reaffirming Theodora in many different ways. But since he still has this very clear underlying distaste for Theodora, you can tell a lot of this isn't even, like, he's very clinical. He's very forced. Not even in the life spirit way, but in, like, I still really don't like you. And I like that. Notably, if Percy was just, like, all gung-ho, I really don't like this guy who almost brutalized my friends, but, because my grandpa asked me to and I made an oath to him, I'm going to be really, really nice to him all the way. I feel like that'd be a little bit of flat character writing. But Theodora here is like really annoying to Percy still. And Percy's like, I still don't like you, gang. I never will like you, gang. You're kind of ugly. But ultimately, I love my grandfather more than I hate you. And ultimately, he was spitting facts. So I'll acknowledge these facts. I'll be nice to you. But your daddy's actually still like a terrible human being. So maybe he didn't intentionally forget you. And also Percy just doesn't know. That goes to the idea that Percy still is a human guy with limited information. And if he is a light spirit human guy with a bunch of information, he doesn't know how Ironside lost his memories. Only Gother knows, presumably right now. He only probably understands the little chaos thing. I was like, so what do you want me to do? Oh? Slurp? Slurp? Aww. Snark? See ya. Snark? Why'd you snark this? Why'd you name him that? Then again, these things look way calmer than they did before. Let's see. I'm sure it won't be that easy, but let's all think about our next steps. Okay. So yeah, once again, Percy's like, gang, I don't know. I don't like the guy. I mean, Percy generally being like, man, I don't know. But let's just not leap to conclusions. I'm not going to boom you. You aren't going to boom me. Like, this isn't going to happen. So let's just, let's think and talk about this a little bit. Like, gentlemen. He's being very, very rational. And that's the thing. I love, part of me is so torn, right? Because this kind of character development for Percy does go absolutely insane. Buku bonkers, crazy. My toes, they're cold right now. I ain't even going to lie to you. But, with it being the case, I do admit, I wish we could have gotten to see more of a shift. Because a lot of this more analytical, and I guess technically this character development is built off of the interactions we saw with Varghese. But this more rational, serious, logical, here's the facts Percy is born over the 2-year time skip. He leaves one way and comes back another way. So that character development is skipped. But I'm assuming the reason that character development is skipped is because Nakama just doesn't want to show us it yet. Kind of like how, we know Lance is probably running around somewhere, but Nakama just hasn't shown us Lance yet. So we know something happened that led to this character development, and we can hazard guesses, right? Like, we can obviously hazard a guess that Percy got a whole bunch of light spirit information. That's why he has this whole light spirit human conflict anyway. That's why he needed Varghese to remind him of his humanity. Like we know all that's there. That's so heavily implied that it's basically fact. But I'm very hard pressed to appreciate off-screen development as I can appreciate on-screen development. And Nakama is fantastic on-screen development. Like I say, you look at Meliodas' arc, you look at Gother's arc, you look at even King Diane's arc. Well, I say mainly King's arc. Dang, you're like, it's done there. But still, regardless, there are a bunch of arcs that have been Mael's arc. Holy smack! Even Zelda's arc. There's so many character arcs that we see well done on screen by Nakama. I know he could do it, but I'm assuming because Percy's our main character, and we're still really I don't even think at this point in the original manga all the secrets of Meliodas' past were revealed yet. If I remember, it is around the 200s where we do get the Goddess Elizabeth reveal, and then like Meliodas explains the backstory. But even then, that was like 200 chapters deep. We're on 199, so maybe we're around the time. And I do think Four Knights is ultimately going to end up being longer, just based on its pacing, than Seven Deadly Sins. So narratively, I feel like we're further back. So hiding stuff about our main character, like Nakaba likes to do, does make sense. And while that does technically come at the cost of his character development, I could say the same thing for Meliodas in the original series. The development from Meliodas, the bloodthirsty, ruthless, most dangerous demon in the demon world with a fun, jocular attitude, to the very serious, rude, no-nonsense, but still pseudo-jocular attitude, to the guy who loves Elizabeth, 3 separate arcs in a 3,000-year time skip that we, or pre-3,000-year time skip that we just never see. So it's not uncharacteristic for Nakaba to like drop really interesting character states and then just completely skip over them, even for main characters. But I'm really hoping Percy does get something. I hope we get a flashback of some sort to someone. Like, but the thing is, I'm not sure what would trigger it. Let's see. I'm so sorry. Oh, he's crying. He broke down, and then that is they still have the wound on him, but. Yeah, I mean, that's rough. And I'll admit, well, I did like Vil and Diodora, and I still kind of want him to be Vil and Diodora. I get, like, you can't. Oh, but his magic was so cool. I would have loved a Diodora arc where he just goes around, either in Camelot or even in the real world, and just starts collecting magics like crazy. But who knows? Maybe they'll still happen. We'll see. It's quite an unexpected twist, but Diodora seems uninterested in continuing. Hey, that winghead's sure good. Oh, so I guess Diodora is not fishing. Let's see. It's Percival's event to lose, huh? And so the winner of our first semifinal match is Percival! Very nice image of Percy. Once again, Nakaba cooking. Let's see. Percival! Oh, and that bum preserved most of his stamina and magic. Clay's like, wait. After I extreme diff Tristan, I'm about to fight that man while he's basically at full stamina? What do you mean? Let's see. Oh, good point. That fight was bad for my heart. Okay, Gnostians, whatever. Let's see. I firmly agree. All right, Anne. You overdramatic. Kion, please stop, bro. Kion, please. Kion, please. I like to glaze you, man. It's hard to take you seriously like this. He's just like me. For real, for real. Okay, stop. But this small little saying he's just like me. That is very interesting. Those two could end up together. Maybe. I can see that vision. Just tragedy duo. I just love it when OBS decides to stop recording my camera. I'm glad. See, this is the main reason. I've completely cut out when it crashed out. So I'm gonna be a little meta with you real quick. I like OBS. It's been so much easier to record and edit my videos in comparison to what I was doing before. Because if you looked at my old recording setup, you'd be like, Pencil Man, are you insane? You were doing this for years? Yes, but occasionally now it's actually giving me problems. I always heard horror stories about it. I need to update it though. So maybe this is my fault. Maybe this is the software punishing me for not updating it just yet. But I will do it. I'm clearly gonna do it after this review now I think about it. But would that be the case? This is the second time this has happened, and literally nothing's wrong. Like nothing will be happening, but then the camera just stops working. And obviously, I like to be on the camera when I'm talking a review because it takes up the majority of the space and it prevents the heavens from striking me down for having the chapter on screen. So it's very tedious and annoying when it decides to randomly stop recording my camera. Then I can't use that footage, so I have to immediately shut it down. And that's why I keep the second English Pencil Man. That's why I keep the second screen open. Because I've seen some people ask, hey, Pencil Man, you always keep the second screen open. Is it just to watch for lag? It's not always just to watch for lag. It's also to make sure that the camera's still recording. There's like this is the second time this has happened, where just randomly, and it like typically sometimes it'll make a sound. If you've ever noticed, sometimes in the videos it'll do a black screen randomly. That's not me. That's not it's not. That is literally just the camera randomly deciding, yeah, I don't feel like functioning right now. And then it'll hard reset. Notably, I literally had to change the parameters of how I record. Like, I literally had to edit the size of the screen because whenever I would initially record, I would zoom in on my camera and then it would be at that scale. But randomly, through the video, it would hard reset itself, and then I'd be really, really big. So now I've just made it so that I'm always really, really big. So even when it does that hard reset, it does that. And then, of course, I watch it for the lag, because even though I'm connected directly to my computer, it'll just randomly start lagging. There's no reason. It's connected directly via USB. I have no idea why it lags randomly, the camera. And also, sometimes stuff like that happens. So that's why I always have the second screen open. It's why you'll constantly see my eyes going like, that's me checking the second screen. That's all it is. And the sad thing is, I always make sure to run only 2 things. It's the chapters I'm reviewing and OBS. I never try to overload the computer. And in fact, OBS literally tells me my CPU right now is fluctuating between 0.8% and 1.1%. But sometimes the computer still can't handle it. I don't know, man. I don't know. And again, I do yap for a long time. So maybe just my computer gets sick of me and it's like, shut up, YouTube, man. But no! It's my channel, with my content, on my computer, and I'm gonna yap! So let's see. He's just like me. See, man, I completely lost the plot, but yeah. Kion freaking and geeking over fake soul or Isold 2, because she's just Isold 2. And real, that's another thing that's gonna be confusing. Are they just gonna, like, when they call for Isold in this group, because really she is joining the group, like, who's gonna respond? Both? Mike Laurie's handsome, legendary, juicy, scrumbly up as King Ballin. Let's see. Gother! We're actually seeing some Gother. I can tell that in these 2 years, your heart's grown just as much as your strength, Percival. Well, not really. Not really. Unironically, it had regressed a little bit. In fact, he was trying, or at least he was trying to make it regress. But then his grandpappy came back, and then his heart grew 2 sizes that day. So, Gother, actually, one of the rare times you're wrong on one of your reads. Let's see. Perhaps you may... Wait. Perhaps you may even have a way to tear Beltreep away from the chaos inside. What's happened? Nakaba. We're so close, Nakaba. Nakaba, we're so close to finishing a tournament, Nakaba. Nakaba. Oh, we're at the 200 chat. Is he gonna... Nakaba, I just want to see the end of... I want to see... Please, I want to see Gawain versus... Please, especially after the anti-class... I'll admit, as much as a good character writing choice Diodor versus Percy was, if I had to express one complaint, I think I expressed it last review, and I'm expressing it here again, it's mad anticlimactic. For a match I was so hyped for, it is literally one of the most boring in the tournament. Like Isold versus, choreography-wise, I'd say Isold versus Tristan was a better fight. The only ones that are, like, more boring are, like, Pelio versus Isold, because, you know, it wasn't really even a fight. Like, sure. But, dog, I swear, if we do not get to see Tristan versus Gawain, please, because we never, like, the thing is, we keep getting robbed of those two. First, we don't even get to see how they met. We still haven't gotten a flashback to how they met. We know they had some initial bickering when they first met. We don't even know how Tristan found her. Or, like, there's so many things we didn't only get to see about that duo. I know we ended off part 1 with a duo battle between them, but please, I want to see the fight. No, but for the power skill, please, I want to see the fight. Let's see. Lord Beltreep, is something the matter? Lord Beltreep, what on? I'm sensing no reaction at all. As in, like, he's not like responding to you, or what do you mean you're sensing no reaction? Let's see. Oof. Oh, he took the what is it called again? The Force Circular. He took the Force Circular right out of the ground. Oof. So, Prince Tristan, I have an extremely generous offer for you. What do you think about forfeiting this next match? Gawain. Okay, what did I say about Gawain being above Tristan? We gotta knock her down immediately. For that alone, I know. She doesn't want to fight Tristan and Percy. Going against her 2 fellow knights back-to-back is actually a crazy gauntlet to run for any of the knights not named Lance. Because Lance still solos. My handsome, juicy, scrumbly yumptious king will always solo. But, until he's gonna get clipped. I promise you, Lance is gonna be super strong for like a majority of the narrative, but then all 3 are gonna... Well, maybe not all 3. Maybe all 3 are gonna find some way to at least rival him. But, with it being the case, Gawain. This is about the most cowardly thing I've seen a private person do. What? Tell them to forfeit? I mean, we all know how it's going to turn out. No need to get hurt for no reason, is there? But see, Gawain, I would buy your bravado if we hadn't seen how worried you were to fight Ballin. Obviously, you beat Ballin. Alright? You balled on Ballin. Balled on him so hard, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna join you. So, like, we're cool with that. In fact, I'm very proud of you for bringing Ballin along because I love Ballin. Ballin's good. However, Gawain, young lady, the fact that you really want to duck out on a fight with the Twilight Prince, especially after we still don't know how long he was under mind control for, but he presumably didn't get that much stronger, Gawain. Meanwhile, you've been doing nothing but getting magical, mental, and physical amps and stirring up power. What do you mean you don't want to run his fade? You gotta clap his cheeks just for the culture. But Gawain, no. Oh, no worries, Gawain. I'll be sure to heal you up right after you lose. Wait. Tristan Leonis? smacking his meat on the table and saying, once you lose, oh, oh, it's cinema. It's cinema. Okay, Tristan. Okay, what? Top 10 things that was not expecting to happen. Tristan, of all characters, talking that schmack, talking that yin-yang. I knew your daddy was in there somewhere. You was way too much like your mama. And as a fellow mama's boy, I get it. I'm also very much like my mother. But I knew you just like me. We saw ISO 2 talk about being just like me. Just like me, Tristan. You got your daddy buried deep in you. Them subroutines, they hitting right now, ain't they? Ah! I'm sorry. Let's see. I'll be sure to heal you up right after you lose. Please stop. Please, let me see the fight. But you know what? But I will give this. Tristan does say the statement with a sweat drop, and he has more sweat drops than Gawain in this panel. But even still, neither of them really want to fight each other, because I think both of them know it's going to be an extreme diff either way. Like even if both are confident in their ability to win, it's like tooth and nail pulling out every stop, because he's practically immortal, and even if she's not practically immortal, she's dumb, stupid, bulky, and endurance built. And they aren't like hard counters for each other, but their abilities match up just weirdly enough that it would be an extreme diff fight. Like on the top of my dome piece, I'm not like, that's why I couldn't really call who would win. I think Gawain was stronger just because I think she has like more relevant training and experience, considering Tristan was brainwashed for a good chunk of his time and probably hasn't gotten too much stronger. But still, come on, you two, show me a good fight. Percy's like, go ahead, waste all that energy. Extreme dip each other right now so I can wipe y'all off the map. Let's see. They both look at but you know what? Tristan still is, he's still he is really just his mama. Let's see. I can't believe an airhead like you reached the final round first! Gawain, I hate to tell you this. Here, leading close so I can tell you. He's the main character. But let's see. Whoa. Oh wait, no, that's Tristan. See, they're also adorable in their chibi mode. But admittedly, Gawain is like almost always in chibi mode because she's so tiny. Let's see. Huh, so the top 3 in this event are all Knights of Prophecy, huh? No duh. No duh. Man, I sure have to hand it to them, yes. The next question is, how they tackle our host up there? Hopefully after Gawain and Tristan fight. I mean, like, Percy, once again, if Percy wins, and they just throw it a little bit. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if Percy can actually beat Beltreeb. Beltreeb has been hyped up so much that, like, I'm not even sure, even if they do get their, like, coveted one-on-one with them, even if Percy was fully fresh, or if any of them were fully fresh, you need, like, a lance to take on Beltreeb. Just based on how he's been hyped. Because Beltreeb has essentially been hyped to be the lance of the 4 evils. Like, Worldane is obviously the Gawain comparison, both highly astute magical individuals. I'd say Tristan and Percy kind of equally line up with Ironside and Pell, just because, like, they're powerful, and they're respected to be powerful, but once again, Lance has been shown to be, like, an entirely different tier, and Beltreeb has gotten that same amount of glaze and much less screen time. So I'm not sure if Percy actually does want to run the ones with Beltreeb, though he would honestly have one of the better chances, since he is still fundamentally immortal, right? Like it would be basically impossible for Beltreeb to kill him with what we've seen so far, unless Beltreeb's slashes can go really, really wide, and straight delete not just the section of space that Percy's in on a thin level, but, like, his entire body. I'm still not exactly sure he's going to run the ones with Beltreeb. Let's see. There she is. Wait, no. What voice did I give Beltreeb? Naka, but why can't you just finish one tournament, man? Why can't you just finish one? Why? How many tournaments have we had in Seven Deadly Sins? We had the initial one. We had the first Fight Self Fighting Festival. Technically, it wrapped, but it didn't really wrap. Because before it could, like, actually end, Meliodas and Elizabeth stopped. Meliodas and Diane stopped. And then tried to fake out everyone by being evil in order to save them from Helbram, Jericho, and Gila's attack. So that one didn't end. The second tournament, the second Vizel Fighting Festival, that one didn't even get really far at all. Like, I don't even think that got to, like, the second round. This is the closest we've been, except for the first time, in a tournament arc that was going so well, and we had such an interesting matchup set up. If Percy, like, this is gonna be a little bit of the hater, in me coming out, I will admit. If Percy versus Theodora is the last tournament fight of this tournament, that was so buns. In fact, the last 2 fights, well, actually, no. What was the fight before? You know what? I do like, choreography-wise, I kind of do like ISO versus Tristan. But still, actually, was it ISO? Yeah, ISO versus Tristan was the last fight before that. And then it was Ballin versus Gawain before that. But, like, Ballin versus Gawain is the best fight of the tournament, and it was 3 fights ago. I think 3? Or like two fight, like, man, I don't know, man. Like, but that's an anticlimax of all anticlimaxes, man. Like, why? I mean, well, hold on. Maybe I'm just quick. There she is. Flutter. Ooh. So even Gother's caught off guard. So Gother, how did you not notice this? Let's see. What's that? A huge rose? Actually, I don't even know what that is either. This magic force equal to about... We're not finishing this tournament, dog. No, come on! What is we? Why though, man? Why, like, to end on such a heavy? And notably, we don't know where Diodor went. Diodor just left the ring, so like maybe he'll be fine. But like man, to hype up a fight so much, only for it to end in a character. This is where like the character man in me and not even the scalar man, the fight liking man. Like when I turn my brain off and stop overanalyzing, the character man in me and the fight liking man in me are in direct heated conflict, because character man is like, there's no better way that Diodor versus Percival could have ended or could have gone based on the character setup with the Varghese reintroduction. Like, there's no, like, Percy versus Diodor could have been a really cool, interesting fight, seeing them both go extreme diff against each other, regenerating over and over and over again with their respective abilities, and Percy pushing the life spirit limits, and Diodor pushing his magical abilities and doing everything he can to try and beat Percy to barely clutch up and win. But admittedly, as cool as that fight would be in concept, it just wouldn't make sense for Percy to undergo that kind of fight, especially when we know how Diodor's magic works, and Percy figured out how Diodor's magic works, and bada bing bada boom and Varghese re-involved. It just wouldn't make sense. If Varghese wasn't there, then we could have gotten that fight. But ultimately, I think the reintroduction of Varghese and Percy doubling down on his humanity, or being forced to redouble down on his humanity, thanks to his promise that he made to Varghese, and Varghese returned, if only temporarily. Like, that's all good. In fact, it's so good character-wise that I wouldn't trade it for that fight. But the dumb fighter man to me is like, I want to see Sun Girl and Twilight Guy fight. It would have been cool. I want to see Despair Man and Hope Man fight, and their magics actually be involved in the fight, and not Percy stabbing his sword into the ground, just punching the guy. Like I want to see fight. I want to see fight. And man, it feels so anticlimactic, but it works so well at a character level. And what do I expect, right? What do I expect? Did I really expect Nakaba, I'll never finish a tournament to end my life, heaven forbid I do, or else I will literally explode, Suzuki, to ever actually conclude a tournament? Especially one with an interesting final matchup? Like, man, it's World ain't it? But interesting that their magic force is described as equal. So, Beltreep is the most powerful of the four evils, but that seems to be not just because of his raw magical force, his raw stats, but also because of his magical attribute, or whatever his magical ability is. But it's very interesting considering how dumb, stupid, hacked out Worldane is, or at least is implied to be. Let's see. Ooh, how's you're looking a little rough here. What's with that eye, buddy? Let's see. Yep, Worldane, alright. Sorry I'm late, everyone. Worldane, you're still alive? Percy, did you sense her life spirits leave her? Did you? Did King launch her too far out of your sensory range? But why are you shocked she's still alive? Especially, like, you know she took La Droga de Yor. Of course she's fine. Let's see. It's one of the four evils. She struck at the Fairy King. She did more than that. She struck at way more than that. What about your mom, Nasians? What about your mom? Struck at the Fairy King? What about your mama? Dog, what about your siblings? Your family? Like, the rest of them? Just the Fairy King. Okay, let's see. I think it's Gareth. Great, yet another menace to deal with. Well, more than just a menace. She may actually go crazy. Let's see. When did he contact her? Wait, no, this is Gother. Hold on. When did he contact her? And how? Does the chaos implanted in them function as a single whole? That's actually an interesting concept. Probably. But then again, I still wonder why Gother couldn't sense that. Because we know Gother was already monitoring the chaos that was inside Beltreep. So you think, I mean, maybe it was just, well, we'll see. You're late. You should be glad I'm here at all. I was busy with the god of war, you know. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? Is it time? Hold on. I'm about to bust. Wait. You were fighting who? You was making wait. Uh-oh. You looking rather unharmed for dealing with the guy. If the god of war is who I think it is. Hold on. I've been getting my gains up for his return. Is that my son? Is that my depressed little boy? Is that my baby boy? Is that Lancelotto? We're just about to get on chapter 200. Hold on. Is my son coming back? Is he gonna break through the... Well, I mean, I'm not sure. Can he travel through the... Like, is he gonna... If she was dealing with the God of War, I mean, like, maybe she wasn't directly fighting him, because she looks completely unharmed. And I don't think Lance would leave her completely unharmed. But... Lance? My son, are you back? Is it time? Please, Lance, please! Let's see. I was busy with the God of War, you know. But fine. More to the point. You were right. The moment I set foot here in Onfuin. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. I know it's Anofwin. I'm not saying that. But see, Onfuin, a part of my memory suddenly grew quite hazy. If it even affects me, the sorcerer behind it must be a genius. Fascinating. And that is, once again, I'm assuming, so that I get how, then going with Gother's theory here that the chaos functions as a single whole, I get what happened. Actually, no, she says once I step foot on, so actually, no, I still don't get it. Never mind, I have no idea how Beltreep summoned her without Gother noticing. Maybe he did it overnight. We don't know where Gother and Beltreep go to rest over the 2-night period. Maybe Beltreep called during like a gap point where Gother wasn't there directly monitoring him. Because initially I was going to say what probably happened if truly all the chaoses act as a hive mind, the parts of chaos of Beltreep's memory that are associated with Percy, Tristan, Gawain, the knights in general, were all suppressed by Gawain's mentalist ring, right? Essentially, as long as he didn't turn bloodlust towards him, he wouldn't be able to sense them. So I thought, wait a minute, Fat Brain, since all the chaoses are interlinked, what happened was Beltreep was tied into the other chaoses, and all of their memories got like flatline suppressed and made fuzzy. And then Beltreep was like, hey, y'all feel that? Y'all feel that, gang? Or maybe even the chaos itself was like, hey, why did this feels weird? And then all the other chaoses were alerted that something feels weird. And maybe that still is the case, but she says, the moment I set foot here, even though she didn't land, but she says the moment she came to Onfuin, she felt it. A part of my memory suddenly grew quite hazy. So, I have no idea how Beltreep summoned her. This could imply that maybe all the Chaos Realms are more linked than we think? And maybe Beltreep, being the lord of this realm, has like more direct control and maybe has some extra safeguards put in. But still very interesting that Gother was not able to predict this. So, the strongest mentalist magic user in the verse could not tell what was happening between these two. And I still don't know. Let's see. Though shoutouts to Gawain getting some glaze. Just considering she herself considered that she didn't really have like a good repertoire or strength of mentalist magic. Very, very impressive. Let's see. Not that it's a problem for me. Super range, what? That spell! Look out! Huh? Me too, Tristan, what? Oh! Okay, but they're rings. Would that work? Would that actually work? I actually don't know. I'm still not casting. It's probably Latin or something, I don't care. Though, very interesting. Maybe because it's a super range, it's interesting that a sorcerer of Worldane's caliber still needs to do the full chance. When someone like Merlin could do absolute cancel just... But someone like Worldane still needs to do like a full incantation. But it is a super range, like seemingly covering at least a good chunk of Onfuin. Is this a feat in of itself? Like how wide is this super range absolute cancel? Can someone count this? I actually don't know. Let's see. Super range absolute cancel. Boop. Oh! Ugh! Oh no, yeah. Okay, so I saw a lot of people say Percy wasn't drawing his rings at the end of the last chapter because he hit Diodor so hard they burst off. Nope, Nagabus forgot to draw them because the man needs an assistant. Nagabus not doing everything herself. But now we see Percy's rings actually crack. So Diodor didn't have to snitch. Worldane came and snitched. I was like, ugh! Oh yeah, Percy. I forgot Tristan's hair was in up. He wasn't actually wearing his ring. Oh no, my ring! It was torn apart? Poor Donnie. Ugh. It overrode all of our camouflage magic. Uh-oh. Whew. My mind feels sharper already. Clearly, Worldane, I was quite wise to summon you. So yeah, he explicitly summoned her. How? How did it go? Like, it must have been off-screen. Like, it must have been off-screen, off-panel when those two were not together. Because how on earth did Gother not notice that? Does that had to be, like, a conscious action? It wasn't subconscious, like, reflection. How on earth did you do that? Beltreep, cough up the plot info. Cough it up. Cough it up, big boy. Let me figure that out. Let's see. If you feel better, Beltreep, look down below. What? They deserve praise, marching right into the party like this. Look at those cute little mice trying to defy the kingdom. Worldane, last we saw you, you were getting diffed by one of these cute little mice. Like, Percy spoke the life out of you. You only lived because you're not fully human anymore. Are you sure you can talk on this, man? Let's see. Look at those cute little mice trying to defy the kingdom. Yes, the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are... The 3 Knights. We're missing one, unfortunately. But yes, the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are here. But look at them posing up, though. Look at them posing up. Even Tristan. Look at, once again, Tristan talking smack earlier. Tristan looking hard like, let me show you what my daddy taught me. I see you, Tristan. Post up that, post up that. But Percy, once again, being very emphasized as the leader, as he is the main character. Let's see. Those dirty children trying to trick me. And I see they have some legendary friends. Right. Capodoni? Or should I say, Gother of the 7 deadly sins! Sorry. Gother just got aura. Like, let's be real. Despite being, a bit off sometimes, like, Gother got mad aura. And I like how even Beltreeb, considering he already one-shot Gother. Like, if you'll remember, Beltreeb is the reason that Gother has this arm and, like, the different leg. So Beltreeb has already kind of proven that they can diff Gother. But even still, they're like, you legendary. You got some strong homies here. Let's see. Gother of the 7 deadly sins. Huh? The referee was Gother. The master was... Oh, that's so sweet. The master was up there? That's Pelio. Oh, that's Pelio. That's adorable. He's like, Master? You were here? I knew you said you were going to come with us in that volume extra, but I didn't know you were there. Let's see. Plus, all these rank and filers with the Knights of Prophecy daring to defy us. Well then, the festival is hereby over. Gosh darn it, Nakaba. Nakaba. That's it. That's it, Nakaba. That's it, Nakaba. That's it, Nakaba. Hold on. Nakaba. I'm gonna have to beat you, Nakaba. It's one. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, can't be fooled again. I'ma find you, dog. But before this duology is over, we're gonna get a complete tournament. We're not. We're never gonna get it. But still, Nakaba, why? What is it like? Like, is it in his contract? Like, I'm not sure what his contract with Kodansha is, but do they not allow him to complete an entire tournament? Like, it has happened too many, like, once again, first time, second time, maybe 2 coincidences. Especially considering how early the second Vice Fighting Festival got cut off, relatively speaking. Once again, I don't even think they really got into the second round. But 3 times across 2 series, you set up tournament arcs that you don't finish? Especially considering the first one and now this third one got so close to finishing properly anyway. Man, what is this? This is the end of the chapter, but luckily enough, this is a triple review. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be long, beefy, and meaty. Pause. But it's gonna be long, beefy, and meaty. So let's hop right into chapter 200. Ooh! I saw this color page when I opened up the chapter, but I didn't really get to study it. Look at. Well, for chapter 200, I guess it would make sense to then get a color page. All right, Tristan's still in that sort of ugly yellow. I do wish Gawain got a new outfit. I respect the new hairstyle, but I do definitely hope Gawain gets something new in terms of an outfit. As much as I do love the Escanor reference fit, and I guess it didn't get too much time pre-time skip, just like Gawain really didn't get too much time pre-time skip. But I do hope she gets something new. Obviously, I think Tristan is kind of like required to get new drip, because I don't think he's going to permanently wear Beltreeb's armor. I feel like that'd be kind of weird. And Percy, still with the green, man. Like, I don't know. Honestly, if the fit was pure black with the orange hoodie, or the orange cape, I think I'd rock with it more. But I mean, this is a better green, though. This is a better green. But I feel like the outfit is so cool otherwise. For it to sort of be greened out like this is kind of wacky. Especially considering, because this has to be such a deep saturated green, it makes his hair look more like yellow greenish. It isn't like bad or horrific or wrong or an insult or anything, but considering one of his defining traits is the wing-like green hair, the fact that his wing-like green hair can't really be allowed to be green because it needs to be a distinctive green from the actual green he consistently wears, it is kind of rough. It is kind of rough. But overall, looking drippy, looking drippy. A nice little color page by Nakaba. And notably, unlike before, maybe just because I've gotten used to these colorings, they don't offend me like some of Nakaba's previous colorings do. Though I do hope pretty much the entire cast here gets new fits. But then again, I like Percy's fit. It just needs a recolor. It needs like a black recolor, or at least a darker color recolor. But Tristan, I need you to get a new fit. And Gawain, this fit is fine, but I really want her to get a new fit as well. But let's see. Let's hop right into chapter 201. Now or never. Okay, manga, go don't you? Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, so they immediately on time. They're like, alright, we ain't got no time for this. Like, they know. I mean, the chapter's called Now or Never. They're like, man, we can't let them make the first move. Jump! But, okay, interesting. Gawain is staying back. But Percy leaps up with his freeform flight, and Tristan immediately goes, oh, no. Tristan, please go Demon Mark. Tristan. I'm not saying that your goddess mode is booty, butt, meat, and fodder. But you are fighting 2 of the 4 evils right now. You may need to level up the game a little bit. At least go hybrid mode. Like, at least pop out a demon eye or something. Though, admittedly, World 8 and Beltreep do look mad oralicious here. Poor Gother, run! Gother, you're still not built for this. Boom! Ooh, I love how they leap off the ground with such force. I was like, well, lovely. So much for killing Beltreep at the winter ceremony. I'm still not even sure y'all can actually kill Beltreep. Gother, please, Gother, no, please, no more Gother downscaling. He actually... Oh. That's interesting. I thought Gother actually got, like backhanded. No. Beltreep so this is actually, once again, massive Beltreep upscale. Massive 4 evils upscale in general, since they do have comparable magic force, they should have comparable stats. Beltreep straight up blitzes Gother before they can get off a single attack with their ability. With evasion. Grabs them by the neck and pitches them. And looks like they're about to bisect Gother. Gother. No! Gother, no! Gother, no! Gother, no! Oh, wait. No! Okay. Someone please get Gother back to dubs or something, please. Yo! You know it's bad when even Gother's like... So this... I think this is Gother actually truly being cooked. I mean, I get it. Nakaba, you can't let the Sins do much in this series, but darn, man. A 2P, a Beltreep dipping Gother. I mean, it's narratively consistent, though, so I'm not like, against it. But poor Percy and Tristan, dog. Especially considering Percy doesn't really have too much of a tie with Gother. But for Tristan, that's probably like one of his uncles getting washed viciously. Jeez, man. So split in a horrific way, too. I hope they can reattach his body. I really do. Because he was already looking kind of rough with the one leg and the one arm. Jeez. Hopefully. Someone catch him. And Beltreep did all that with a single sword motion. And already resheathed in time. Ooh, to unleash another slash? Let's see. Oh. Okay, so both halves of Gother didn't get hit again. And looks like Tristan only lost one of his goddess wings. And Percival did manage to seemingly dodge here. So I guess this kind of does confirm, or at least soft confirm. I mean, it's a range thing. You definitely argue maybe they were farther away, so they're able to react in time. They're able to read it a little bit better. But you can definitely argue that this is soft confirmation that both Gother and Percival have better, at least at distance, reaction speeds than Gother. Considering we know at distance, Gother was tagged by Beltreep in the past. And now here at close range, we see them get blitzed and one-tapped again. Meanwhile, both Percy and Tristan. Percy, while no magical aura, and Tristan in just goddess mode is able to react somewhat. Though Tristan does lose a wing here. Oh, but okay, so that's interesting too. It's hard to tell, maybe just because of the angle this didn't happen the first time. Maybe it wasn't a spatial slash, but it does seem like it is a spatial slash on the first hit. But then this second hit is definitely another spatial slash because it cleaves... Does it cleave through the entire... What? Okay, someone... Wait, no. This is just the top. This is just the top of the... This is just the top. Gee! Okay, but I need to see though. Did it cut the ground? Did it cut the ground beneath it? I can't tell. But that still is crazy. So one casual swing. I do think Beltreep cut space. It's so funny. There's a character in a very popular manga that ended recently that also developed the ability to cut space. But I think Beltreep's base ability is cutting space, mainly because I don't think it's his sword extending this far. I think he genuinely swings, and then wherever the blade arc follows, space itself is cleaved. And it would make sense because we know Chaos deals with like this time and space manipulation stuff. So a Beltreep being amped drastically by Chaos, having the ability to literally rend space apart, makes sense. It lines up with the previous applications of Beltreep's power. And on top of that, it would explain why he himself is still a more viable threat than someone like Worlding, who's hacked out like crazy. Because at least you can dodge and react to maybe block some of Worlding's attacks. At least for Beltreep, if this truly does cut space, it may be unblockable for like basically everybody. Like, I'm not sure who exactly blocks this unless you have magic negation. Considering I do think this is an extension of Beltreep's magic. Oh, interesting though. Theodora, Snark, and Sia did not escape in time though. So maybe they'll play into this fight? Let's see. Donnie, poor Donnie, Hauser, Anne, Nasians, Isold 2, Kion, poor Pelio, man. Especially considering they just watched their master get bisected. Edlin, sorry, Boris. But yo, I love how everyone, even Gareth, is shocked to the extreme, and Ballin is like, you know, I can still solo him, right? You know, I'm actually still built like that. Peep the gains. You know, I'm actually still built like. Shout out to my boy Ballin. But let's see, Slice, Shunt, and everything just starts falling. Okay. Uh-oh, Deodora, where you going? Deodora, where you going? Deodora, you alright? Deodora, you alright? Please, Deodora. Please, Deodora. Let's see. Oh no! Guys! Don't worry about us. Focus on the four evils. I get why they call them the four knights of the apocalypse and they call them the four evils, but like, I do wish they would just say focus on the evils or focus on the knights, because not all four of them are here in either case. It's 2 and 3. Like they're not the full group. Let's see. Then again, and notably, in this manga they do refer to the sins as the sins occasionally. So it's not like a convention thing where the full title has to be said every single time. No, you do it for the sins, do it for the evils, do it for the knights. Let's see. Good idea. Can't let your friend's sacrifice go to waste. Yeah, okay. Rolled in, I think she still is my favorite of the four evils. Like, at least as a villain so far. Obviously, I love Pell. I love Big Papa Pell. And I think Ironside definitely is an overall more interesting antagonist, but at least presentation-wise, mentality-wise, and how much they love, clearly, playing on being a villain, or playing on being a villain, World is just fantastic. They give such strong KH Rechain of Memories. I say specifically Re. Obviously, Chain of Memories has the writing for Larkine as well. But I'd say very heavy KH Rechain of Memories Larkine. Like, they give me such heavy vibes of that, and I love that. Don't ask why. But let's see. Good. Can't let your friend's sacrifice go to waste. Okay, they both turn around. Ooh, Explosive Dragon. Full counter? Full counter? Oh, no FC. No FC? Yeah, no FC. So Tristan wasn't able to react. And notably, okay, Tristan. I mean, I guess you want them upscales, bro. I guess you want them upscales of Doom and Despair. You are fighting the four evils if you don't at least activate your goddess eyes. Now, this may be not worth forgetting to draw them. Obviously, but we've seen Tristan fight with his wings out and in base before. That's why I said the man has like 50 million different forms. Like, he has 2 wings, 3 wings, 4 wings, wings with eyes, wings without eyes. Like, he has a million different forms. But Tristan, if you don't get out of base, and Percy, if you don't activate some magical aura dog, what are y'all doing? Let's see. Explosive Dragon. Interesting. Percy just guards with his cloak. Tristan slashes through the first wave, slashes again through the second, and then lunges in for Roldain. Okay, once again, very impressive. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, but very impressive. I've always been slandering Tristan for a while, but base Tristan being able to react in time, like he's mid trying to blitz Worldain, and Beltreeb comes in from the overhead blitz. Remember, Gother at close range while just dealing with Beltreeb could not react in time to a close range Beltreeb. But then Beltreeb was trying to get the drop on Tristan. A base Tristan, by the way, in midair. Tristan's able to dodge in response. Very, very impressive. Very, okay, Tristan, I wasn't familiar with your game. Let's see. Percy looking on. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming this first slash that he does here is not imbued with his magic, but then this second slash is, because let me see the slash extend beyond him, and ooh, even slice up the Percival sword. So now Dragon Handle's, once again, kind of just Dragon Handle. Let's see. Oh, and it even clips some of Percy's cloak. I wonder if that'll regenerate or heal. Let's see. You schemed against me. You ruined my festival. Okay, Beltreeb, in their defense, you could have let the festival play out and then fought them. It would have been fatigued too. It would have been fatigued. You were the one who summoned Worldain early. If you just waited, bro, Chacho, you would have had a nice, happy, healthy festival. Honestly, bro, Chacho, I think you fumbled the bag on that one. I'm just saying, Beltreeb. No, just a little bit of critique. Let's see. The price you pay will be steep indeed. None of them are dying here. I don't really see anyone dying at this. Funnily enough, despite the 4 evils and 3 of the 4 knights being here, or 2 of the 4 evils and 3 of the 4 knights being here, I don't think anyone's gonna die. I think at best this is gonna end in a stalemate, where like they can't beat Beltreeb and Roldain, but Beltreeb and Roldain can't beat them either, probably because of these two's immortality. I think the big issue that the 4 evils are gonna have to overcome, and the big issue that the 4 evils are gonna have to overcome, is like the pseudo-immortality and extended pseudo-immortality of 2 of the 4 knights, and the fact that they can feed that immortality into their friends. aka Lance and Gawain. But the big thing that the knights are going to have to overcome is the insane diversity of abilities between the four evils. Once again, Beltreat with spatial slashes and Worldane with her bottomless reservoir magic alone is really, really dangerous and hard to deal with. But on top of that, you don't just have them. Presumably, Peldicard and Ironside are going to be crazy amped, and they already have crazy base fighting skill. And I'd say Ironside's magic at base, even if it's just seemingly a flash rip-off or an arc rip-off, is very, very good. And who knows how it's going to be amped by Chaos. We'll see. The price you pay shall be steep indeed. Speaking of steep, darn, that thing's falling. Ah! We're gonna hit the ground. We're all doomed at this rate. Yeah, I mean most of them. Let's see. I don't want to die. Poor boars, man. Poor boars. Oh. Oh. Maybe not.
You're so good and cool.
Ooh, it's still bad that I feel like Donnie's gonna die. Donnie's either gonna die or he's gonna end up alone. There's no in between. There's no in between. Let's see. Donnie? Yo, even Kyle's like, yeah, I didn't know you could do this. What? You think I'll let this kill me? That's my boy, Donnie. But he is stressed. Look at the veins on that. But seriously, Donnie is jacked. Like, jacked. Like, notably, I don't really want to be, like, super jacked, but, like, Donnie, you an inspiration, my G. Let's see. You kept this rock from falling all by yourself? Even how his uncle's like, Gangaroni, I may be stronger than Matrona, but even I can't do that. Let's see. Oh, but at this but it's falling. Oh, it's falling, but at this speed, we can make a safe landing. Very impressive, actually. Very impressive. So Donnie isn't able to lift the whole thing, but he's at least able to slow it down. Very impressive for Donnie. Let's see. Wow. Crumble, crumble. Oh, did it bounce? Or is it just... Oh, it's probably still crumbling. It's weird. I feel like this wellspring of energy deep down. Is this some new awakening? Maybe. Power limit break. Oh, no! No! I mean, I guess it does make sense, though. Donnie being strong enough to lift all this when I think he was struggling to, like, lift a tiny island against Beltreat previously, and he hasn't really gotten many amps since then. It makes sense that he can't do this on his own. But, man, I mean, Donnie, it's a big rock. Let Donnie be this strong. He still wouldn't be comp for any of the knights. He still wouldn't be comp for Ballin. He still wouldn't be comp for, arguably, Nauseans. Like, come on now. You could have let Donnie be this strong, but power limit break, okay. So, Gawain really, really doubling down on being number one with the group. Obviously, not just because that's her daughter, but also... just pulling out spell after spell after spell that was a Merlin classic. Power Limit Break was used at the end of the last series to help play the Demon King. Let's see. Huh? Once your magic force runs out, you'll be sleeping for a week, so be ready. Okay, so this is why Gawain didn't immediately engage with the other two. She was actually taking care of her friends and everything, all the innocents who were there. Okay, W. Gawain. Huh? Gawain? Oh? Oh? Are y'all just gonna ignore world? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I also believe that jumping is the key to everything. But at the same time, maybe you shouldn't forget about the extremely dangerous lethal sorcerer. Especially you, Percy. You fought her. Let's see. But you know what? Beltreat is going band for band. Very interestingly enough, though, this does seem to add some sort of stipulation to his magic. Because clearly all these swings he's landing off are, one, not breaking their weapons, and two, not releasing those spatial slashes. So maybe it has something to do with him sheathing it, and then he can release a spatial slash or something like that. And if he has the sword out for an extended period of time, such as clashing with others, he cannot use it. But maybe he's holding back. It's really hard to tell how much the Chaos-infused Knights are programmed to hold back. It seems they do have some... They still have their base personalities. So maybe Beltreat is enjoying this? I don't know. Let's see. Clang, ting, ting, ting. Whoosh. Okay. So Percy gets grabbed. Ugh! All this power! Beltreat upscale? What's getting these endless Beltreat upscales? Are you even trying? Actually, I wouldn't think so. Yeah, okay, so he does start. Oh, okay. So they were holding back. But why? I mean, maybe they're still trying to test their power, but a little time to place, guys. I don't think this was the time to test and flex your skills and strength. But interesting. But even Beltreat was like, really? Is this all you have? You four are going to destroy Camelot. I believe that Lance boy can do it all by himself. He doesn't need you scrubs. But there we go. Percy activates his magic, fueling Sacred Treasure, the Force Circular, drastically amping himself and his weapon. potency. Oh, but then Tristan comes in from behind the grab. Still in base, by the way. Let me show you then. Oh, wait. Even if we couldn't get Percy versus Tristan round 2, or if we couldn't get Gawain versus Tristan, or Gawain versus Percy round 2. I guess technically round 3, we kind of got a round 2 at the start of part 2. Or like, a good chunk into part 2. But still, if we couldn't get any of that, a Tristan and Percy jumping, we'll take it. We'll take it. I don't know what World Aid's doing during all this, but we'll take it. Let me show you then. I'm gonna bust. Wait. Oh, I'm gonna bust. Hold on. Knock him. Chill. Whoa. He just went black, but I'm about to paint the whole room white, if you know what I'm talking about. Wait. Bro said, I'm not doing goddess eyes. I'm not doing hybrid. I'm skipping straight to demon time. That's my boy, Tristan. That's my boy. Even Beltrip is like, wait a minute. He's like, wait. Wait, I saw you cooking a little bit earlier. Wait, don't do this to me. Oh, okay, so Percy breaks Beltrip's grip. Ha! Okay. They said, we're here to murder you. They said, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're here to kill you. World Aid, help. World Aid, what are you doing, World Aid? This man just got his arm ripped off and his torso slashed open. What? Okay. And it's still go. Yo, Percy hit him with a 2-piece? The 2-piece of Doom and Despair? He said, so Tristan goes for the spin move on his Sonic the Hedgehog type timing. Hits the spin move on him, rips the... Is he about to beat him to death with his own arm? Yo! Something about that demonic blood, bro. It gets these demons tweaking. This Nephilim over here tweaking like a true demon right now. Tore the arm off, looks like he's about to beat him with it. And Percy hits him with the 2-piece. The slice to the torso, only to immediately rip back through him again and behind the shoulder. Okay, you two. World Aid, save this man now. Maybe Lance ain't needed, dog. What? Boom. Okay. Boy, look at the effort you cuties are making. But have you forgotten that look, did you forget you were still here, World Aid? You watched this entire interaction and just now decide to engage? Well, looks like it's too late because Gawain is here. Let's see. But have you forgotten that I'm still here? I hope Beltrip can regenerate or something. That's what I really hope, considering that man lost an arm, including his sword arm. Where's the arm in this panel? Nagaba, did you forget that quick? I think the arm's supposed to be in Tristan's hand here. Maybe the Nagaba forgot to drop it. Like, I don't think, unless it's implied that Tristan dropped the arm. I mean, might as well. Might hold it. Let's see. But have you forgotten that I'm still here? Oh. No, yo, okay, so, and if there is one thing I'll give, I was getting on Nagaba's, and this is what, you know what, sometimes triple live reaction reviews are meant to happen. If there's one thing I'll give Nagaba, even if he does end some tournaments on some real anticlimaxes, like I ultimately think he does, the tournaments themselves never really end properly, and they usually end on anticlimax battles. He will not hold back on the aftermath. I'm thinking about the end of all 3 tournaments so far. The initial end of the first tournament led into, arguably, in my opinion, one of the best fights in the series. Berserk, Meliodas versus Helbram, and went crazy at the top of that. Gila attacking with explosions from long range, and then all the battles we got from there. Absolutely crazy. Then, of course, after the next tournament, the second Rise of Fighting Festival, we got Meliodas versus the Ten Commandments. Arguably, still, despite how many fights have been shown in the duology so far, still arguably like a top 5 fight in the series. I don't blame people for still having it a top 1. That's how good Meliodas versus the Ten Commandments is as a fight. And that obviously followed right after, technically, Meliodas versus Droll and Gloxinia, but still, I'd say that's kind of like folded into the fight. Fantastic fight. And now we're getting the 4 Knights versus the 4 Evils, or the 3 Knights versus the 2 Evils, and Nakaba's not holding back. So I'll give you that, Nakaba. Even if I'm lagging drastically. Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on. Maybe I'm back. You can blame it all on me. But I will give Nagaba that. Even if he will never finish a tournament to save his life. Maybe literally to save his life. I'm not sure if it's in his contract or anything. But he will follow up with some of the best action set pieces so far. Tristan and Percy double teaming Beltrip to cook him like this. Insane. Gawain coming out the cut, teleporting in, buffing up instantaneously, and crushing World Dane's skull. Obviously, I don't think this will work. Because it's like, I don't think the Eagles are going down this easy. But still, kind of insane. and very, very cool. Genuinely, considering whenever I try to do these multi-reviews, I try to include a piece of each chapter. I'm not sure which to include. I may have to include this, though. This is a crazy panel. This is an insane panel. But, like, I need to pick a panel from each one of these in order to determine, in order to make the thumbnail. So, I'll see. I'll struggle. Let's see. Have you? Boom! Yo, crushing the dome into the kick of disrespect. Oh! Yo. Okay, so yeah, Nakaba did just forget to draw the on that panel. But to literally beat a man down with his own limb, not only is that W choreography, but that is W characterization for Demon Tristan, dog. He literally smacks him down with his own dismemberment. I'm telling you, these demons are animals, dog. They're animals. Let's see. Smack. Bam. Okay, but they're going to be fine. Oh. Tristan. Oh, wait, no. Interesting. Nakaba forgot to draw the wings here, but maybe he didn't draw the wings here purposely. I'm not going to blame everything on Nakaba forgetting. Sometimes he just does it for the better composition of the shot. But interesting that he still has... In fact, I didn't even think I noticed it. He activates... Well, his wings are just not consistently drawn in general. But he activates Demon Mark. It's seemingly still in Demon Mark. But he is using Goddess Wings. So maybe that's meant to exemplify... Yeah, this is clearly Goddess Wing Tristan here. So maybe this is meant to exemplify a better control over Demon Mark? Or maybe Nakaba just forgot to change him to the Dark Wings. Let's see. Keep going till we end it for good! Yeah! Okay. And now for what most of y'all are probably here for. Let me actually hop into chapter 201. I wonder how many people are just going to skip the 201 and be like, alright, Pencil Man. Let's get to the most recent chapter. But let's see. Chapter 201, Envoy from the Abyss. No Lance return in chapter 200. Lance return now? But I think that'd be overkill. I think, yeah, it'd really be overkill. I mean, it really depends, though. How are Beltreep and Worlding going to get out of this? Let's see. Oh, yeah, but they're still alive. They're still alive and standing. Yeah. If the ops start laughing after you crush their skull, you may still be in danger. Oh. Okay. Forget crushing the skull. It did literally nothing, and it just gets immediately undone. Very chaos-esque regeneration. Let's see. She can heal and fix her armor? But then again, I don't blame Percy for being shocked by that, because he's like, she could not do that last time. Considering, but then again, Percy literally drained the life force out of her. So Percy, if you don't start casting that life drain spell immediately, dog, stop fighting with swords. Let's see. Huh? Oh? Even Beltreep's arm is moving? Oh! That's kind of crazy. Huh. Alright. So the arm wrenches itself out of Tristan's grip. Still Demon Mark Tristan, by the way. Okay, so yeah, so Nakaba did just color them wrong last chapter. That wasn't any sort of like indication of a better control of Demon Mark. No, Tristan he just forgot to draw the demon wings. Let's see. Arm breaks free. Slash. Oh, and so even so never mind. So he was literally just holding back. So throughout this entire chapter, he was holding back. It's harder to tell if Worldane was, considering well, actually no, she clearly was. She didn't engage in the battle. But for this case here, even though the blade wasn't resheathed, while the arm's really detached from his body, it's infused with enough of his magic to cause more special slashes. Though again, at point blank range, all three of them dodge it. Go there, buddy. Pow. Amigo. I may have to put you on fraud watch. I know, like, a betrayal that wasn't your body, but this is multiple dodging at, like, point blank range, gang. I can at least excuse a little bit of last chapter because those are they dodged out of range, but, like, buddy. Bah. Amigo. I know stats aren't your crazy thing. You're a hacks man, but I don't know, man. I know Beltreep's the top tier, and I know this isn't Gother's story anymore, and I know we had to remove him from the plot, but, like, Gother? We had to revoke your goat status, dog. I don't think Meliodas will be getting done like this. I don't think Paul will be getting done like this. I don't think even King and Diane will be getting done like this. Gother, this is rough. This is rough. I don't know, Gother. Let's see. Ka-swing, boom, boom. But ultimately, this looks more like Air Force, though, because the cuts don't seem to be that deep. They aren't, like, damaging the arena as much as the first slash did. Let's see. What? Also, maybe because it's literally disconnected from his body, so maybe the special slashes don't have as much range. Okay, so it immediately thwaps back on, and I guess heals. Let's see. Not too shabby, knights. Quite lovely, in fact. But you know, if we hawk all the fun, the kids down below will get so jealous. And we gonna get everyone to jump, y'all? I mean, I think that's kind of overkill, but I mean, like, do you? I mean, like, you could get, honestly, a ballin', yo, just Ballin fighting with him alone would be crazy. But a Ballin, Isold, Kai, like everyone tweaking. I mean, but Donnie literally can't tweak. He just got hit with power limit break. He's probably cooked. But everybody, yeah, and stay back. I don't think you're built for this, Ann. But not Nasians, Ballin. I'm not sure how useful Gareth would be here, but at least Nasians and Ballin jumping in and joining in on the jump fest. I mean, my toes could curl. In fact, they're curled right now. Maybe throw Isold in there too. She does have that feet of elegance. Like we could go a little bit. Hold on, let's see. But look at Tristan. Man, I love Tristan. Demon Tristan Mark. Lord, I love Demon Mark Tristan, bro. Look at him. Percy, if you don't flare that aura back up, Gawain, if you don't get buff again, let's see. Look out! We'll be making contact very soon now. Hold out. Who's saying that? Hold out, Donnie. Forget about me. Just brace for impact. Donnie's like, I cannot slow this thing down anymore. What about that? I was joking about how I was about to bust. Donnie's about to bust. Everywhere. Let's see. Lands against the ground. Fragments. Okay, so the whole thing falls apart. Oh, heck. I can't move an inch. Oh, no, poor Edlin with the save of doom. Pors, please help Edlin. But look at Edlin. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, so he caught him, but only for them to both die. Yo, so Nagma's got me. I was just getting mad about, we can never finish a tournament to save our lives. Nagma said, don't worry. I will never, ever, it is literally against the law for me to give you the ending to a tournament. But I can give you some hype moments. Okay, Nagma. Because look at Hauser clutching on all characters. Huh? Whirlwinds? Captain Hauser! Ooh. Not exactly a picnic with this many people. Very impressive feat of manipulation, though, because it means he had to keep track of all these individuals, except for my glorious handsome. I'm telling you, even when he loses, he aura farms. Even when he's in a bad situation, he aura farms. Look at Ballin. Everyone else had to be saved. Not my glorious legendary handsome King Ballin. Look at him. Obviously, he just turned on like the physical part of his anatomy, but still. Shout out to Hauser. Very precise feat here. Especially considering I'm assuming not all these people had crazy magic signatures. A lot of these are probably just regular people who denied Camelot. So, and very impressive for Hauser to literally save all their lives, especially on an impact like that. We'll see. Ooh, not exactly a picnic with this many people. Yo. I like that though. It's all the love interests on the big main character flush. Isold 1, Isold 2, and Anasi. All the love interests. Let's see. Looks like everyone made a safe landing. Only Donnie's in bad shape. Yeah, I can't even move a finger. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. Can someone, like, give him, like, is that a thing? Could Percy give him energy? Great work, kid. You're a full-fledged holy... Shroom? What's happening? Man, what is that? Oh, one thing after the other. Run, everyone! What is it? Oh? What is a Dark Souls boss doing here? Doug, I happen to own a copy of Elden Ring. Why are you here? Why did you leap into the disc? Why'd you leap out of the disc and get into my manga, bro? What are you doing here? Who's this? Why is he so big? And he's very top heavy too. Very tiny legs, bro. Stop skipping leg day, dog. In fact, funnily enough, leg day is tomorrow for you, boy. Today was push day. Like, the thing, I can't really tell. If like, I know I'm, it's funny. I feel I'm getting stronger, but it's hard for me to tell if I look any stronger. People have said, like, you looking big, Pencil Man. And I'm like, it's really hard for me to tell. But I think you just need to look at some, like, older videos and older footage of me. I think I'd be able to tell more properly. Let's see. But all right, man. Actually, he doesn't. His quads are massive, but them calves, bro, them calves. I know it's mostly genetic, but still. Let's see. Everyone running away. But the regulars are running away. The main cast is still gonna fight it. Now, since you may need a hard carry. Ballin', the baby's not for you to hard carry. Hold on, Ballin'. Let's see. Okay. Raise up its stick. Everyone looking like, oh, we're about to die. Let's see. Hauser. Oh, boy. This is Donnie face, bro. That's a thumbnail. Let's see. Hauser. Yo, Nazis, if you don't help right now. Poor Pelio, man. You are not built for this. Blam. Well, actually, Pelio has, like, an illusion ability, right? So maybe he can way too big and way too powerful to misdirect. Those guys are dead. All three of these people in this battle are dead. All right. Blam. Kablam. Guys! What kind of monster is that? You have two monsters in front of you. You have two monsters. You may, like, unfortunately, you better hope Nasians and Ball can clutch up or something. Or maybe Isold can boom it. Because y'all do not have the time to worry about that. Your 2 ops that you just thought y'all cooked last chapter are fully backed and fully razzed. Let's see. Yes, a fine chance to test it out. This is an experiment. Experiment's what she does. Yes. Let's see. Its name is Goliath, the great soldier of revenge. A golem I created from all the many bodies of the holy knights that died fighting the god of war. Even off screen, he's off. Someone arrest him. Arrest him. I love him. Arrest him. Arrest him. There is no way. The last time we got even a mention or a look of where Lance was post the end of part 1, he was depressed, staying with his parents. You mean to tell me this man went on a revenge campaign and murdered how many? How many Camelot Holy Knights? Because this, like, Lance, he has to be the god of war, right? Because he's the knight of war. You're telling me this man Lancelot went into Camelot and caught so many bodies world he could actually make a titan of this size? He's ore farming. Ref, he's ore farming off screen. Ref, he's ore farming in the time skip. Ref, we got this has got to be at least a yellow. We may have to ban him from the. If he and she was just fighting him. She was, or at least she was dealing with him. Like, ref. We gotta call flag on this play, dog. He's ore farming from off panel. We have no idea what this man looks like. He's moving like how amped. He's got none of that. And he's using a borrowed sacred treasure. This man has caught so many bodies in the name of a boy who's alive and well. Lancelot murdered how many people? Look at all these bodies, bro. Specifically, and she says specifically, all the many bodies of the Holy Knights that died fighting the God of War exclusively. So however many bodies you think fit in this thing, even if it's just these bodies here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's say it's just 6 bodies. That's still insane, or forming 6 bodies on screen. But we know it's not, because it looks like the entire inside of this thing is made of these bodies. Lancelot. I didn't even know Camelot had that many Holy Knights for Lancelot to murder. Ref, arrest him. Ref, he's ore farming from off screen. Let's see. Goliath is pushed forward by the vengeful spirits of those raging ghouls. Very similar to Melaskil's ability. I wonder if Worlding studied that in order to maintain these, or this is another example of her chaos abilities. And we know chaos has the ability to create life and presumably mess with death, and possibly, considering we know the Capital of Dead can be accessed by regular beginning of series characters, it's very likely that Chaos and any of its descendants or users could possibly break into the realm of the dead and be like, hey. And we also know they have numerous ties to purgatory to get raging or angry souls. So maybe that's another example of that being in use here. So very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Goliath is pushed forward by the vengeful spirits of those raging ghouls as it pummels and flattens foes with its massive force. Nasians, vaporize it. Let's see. Oh, okay, so yeah, so even Ball may have a little bit of an issue here, because it's able to use magic and Fizz. Okay, I thought it was just a Fizz attacker. Let's see. So it's literally, it is unironically Iron Valiant. For my Pokemon players out there who are this deep into review, I think it's like an hour and 30 now, but who are this deep into review, you know Iron Valiant, I know Iron Valiant, we all know Iron Valiant, this is Iron Valiant. Let's see. Literally using a straight Moonblast, but let's see. It can't aim for nothing, though. It just completely whiffed. Let's see. Whoosh. Stomp. It's not whiffing that entirely, though. Though some people are still dodging. Uh-oh. 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 Who's this? Who's this? Running up. Bounce, bounce. Ref. Keep him in play. He's ore farming on panel. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking. Yo, Malcolm, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I ever complained. Malcolm, I'm sorry I ever complained. You're right. You're cooking. Who was I to ever deny your narrative? Yo, my legendary jacked and juicy glorious King Ballin, bro. I told you, like, I saw so many people say, oh, Ballin's fodder, Ballin's trash. He's not trash. He's just not a titular character, dog. He still has crazy, dumb, stupid, crazy stats. He one-shot this, or at least decapitated it. Head Cutter Blade. And it's such a simple yet effective name that shows exactly what he's talking about. He's so goated. Let's see. He doesn't even smile till he knows he's ore farming. He knows he's mogging. Let's see. Thud lands against the ground. Whoa, down in one hit. Ballin the Invincible is back. He never left. Let's see. Switch. Uh-oh. Let me guess, it's still alive. No. Wait 1 minute. Oh. Oh, well, the world didn't say, oh, I almost forgot. The one other trait of this guy. is that the La Droga de Yor. Oh, so that was incorporated into this. Is that La Droga de Yor allows it to resurrect itself over and over. How? There was only like this much. Did you manage to figure out how to mass reproduce that thing? How? How on earth did you figure out how to do that? And like, since it's but like resurrect, it's already raging dead souls. That's a weird explanation for that. But okay, how much of the La Droga de Yor did she have? I don't think it was that much. She must have figured out a way to mass produce it. Let's see. Don't you recall, Percival, the gift I took with me from the Fairy King's forest? That was what I remember complaining about that too. No one actually checked if she had La Droga de Yor. Like, King boomed her without taking the drug back. Why? King, you idiot. Let's see. Well, there's not much at all left. I use some myself, you see. Oh. But still, that's a lot. I mean, I guess you only did need like a drop of it, but still, how much did she feed to this thing for it to be able to constantly res itself? And why does it need to constantly res itself like that when it's already raging dead souls? Let's see. So the effect can't go on forever. Okay, so they can't eventually wipe it. So I'm assuming if you could vaporize this thing with like a shining road, it really wouldn't be able to resurrect. And La Droga de Yor doesn't make you actually immortal. So is that how they're regenerating? I thought they were regenerating through chaos. And by them, I mean like Beltreep and Worldain, but maybe not. Maybe they're regenerating through pieces of La Droga de Yor. What else? Let's see. But let's see just how many of your friends can hold out until my little toy here is fully defeated. Once again, despite how epic all this is, I don't think anyone's really going to die just yet. We'll see. Then I'll defeat you as soon as I can and keep them all protected. That's all. That's my boy, Percy. That's my boy. Talk that talk. You defeat the 4 evils that... Yo, is Tristan 1v1ing Beltreep right now? Help him! Let's see. You defeat the 4 evils that fast. You truly think you can do that? I can. The way I am now, I can. Whoa! You still think dog and smoking? Yo! Aura. Why? Everyone, they're either aura farming off screen, they're aura farming on screen, they're aura farming with statements, they're aura farming without statements, they're aura farming with named attacks, they're aura farming without named. Everyone, Percy, did he seriously hit a 3-peat on her? Blitzed her after blocking all of her attacks, hit a 3-peat on her, and sliced her 3 times over in one motion? What? But then again, how are they going to be calm, dog? How are they going to be calm? Well, maybe Worldain just ain't calm. But then again, you can't let the mages have too many broken stats because they're already broken enough hacks-wise. So maybe this is it. Oh, but a thud from down top? Who did Percy in the dome? Beltreep. Oh, no, but Beltreep is fighting Gawain and Tristan here, who's still in Demon brother. Oh! They both got banged down too. Who? Slam? Okay, Gawain, Tristan, and Percy all got hit to the ground. Oh! Not to rain on your parade. But... Okay, Lance, come back at least. He has to be back like the next 2 chapters. That, like I said, I don't think anyone's actually gonna die here. But bring, God of War, Mister. I went on a revenge campaign in 2 years for a boy who's alive and well. God of War, we need you right now. What do you mean all 4 of them are here? I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Presumably they sent out summons for the rest of them. But I don't think we're built for this. And they're both chaos amped, and they both just blitzed and one-tapped. Well, not one-tapped. They're all still fine. Like, they didn't take any damage. But still, they managed to appear out of nowhere and hit both Gawain and Tristan and Percy. We may be cooked. We may be... Lance, we need you right... I thought we weren't going to get Lance back for a while. Bring Lance back right now. All right. If you couldn't tell about how much I was popping off throughout this review... W chapters, all 3 of them. As much as I will forever get knock his case for never finishing a tournament arc, at this point, I believe it is like an oath he made to a friend a long time ago. He will include fire banger tournament arcs, end them anticlimactically, and then give us extremely banger fight sequences afterwards. So, I'll let it slide. Everything else in chapters, everything else in these 3 chapters has been peak. From the reappearance of Worldain to all the character writing, to all the character interactions, to the battles, to the choreography, to Tristan on timing, to Gawain on timing, to Donnie on timing, to everyone being on timing, to Hauser clutching up. So many different things. I mean, I want some more stuff from Nonsense, please cook. But outside of that, just bangers. Bang after bang after bang after bang after banger. Bangers and no mash, dog. In fact, if you made it all the way to the end of this junker of the video, please leave bangers, no mash. Bangers, no mash in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notification bells so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you can have a Page down below, you want me for as low as $1. Come on. These things are exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions to every series I have to review, including this very series right here under normal circumstances, Four Knights of the Apocalypse. And I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off. I would like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis 97, Zachary Wilson, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, G Prosper, Swift Strike, Alexicon, Striker Man, and Autumn Mornings Lazo. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members: Austin Wimberly, Euchia, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Joaquin Munoz and Joaquin Munoz. And a final and thank you to our ultimate That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin's wife. Not Calvin Elder, who ultimately does have one of my kidneys, but now I must know, and I must undergo the process of getting this second one removed, so I can send the other over to this wonderful family.